Happy Wednesday. Happy Winning Wednesday, friends. I'm Dominique, Atlanta's nurturing agent, and welcome to another episode of Winning Wednesday Tips with me, Dominique, Atlanta's nurturing agent. Today, I want to talk about refinancing, what it is, and then 5 things you can expect should you decide to move forward with refinancing your own home. First, refinancing is a concept. It's very similar to the way that you applied for a mortgage, but in a lot of cases, it can be a lot more simple. And then also, it's a way to reduce your monthly mortgage payment and help you save money. So here are the 5 things you can expect should you decide to move in that direction with your own mortgage. 1, be sure that you've been in your home for the required amount of time to refinance. Now, you can find out what that time frame is through your mortgage provider. They'll give you that time frame, or you can review your loan products, policies, procedures, and guidelines, and then that'll also tell you how long you need to be in the property before you can actually apply to refinance your property. Second is you want to make sure you're in financial good standing. Now, as I mentioned previously, this process is very similar to the same process you took when you were applying for your mortgage, which meant that your credit had to be in line, your debt to income ratio had to be in line, and this is very similar process in terms of your finances. So please make sure your finances are squared away, because they are going to look at your debt to income, and they're also going to consider your credit. The third is you have to be up to date on your mortgage. So if you have any recent late fees or any forbearances, that will disqualify you from being eligible, because again, we need to make sure you're in a financial good standing. And if your mortgage is not up to date, you're not going to be considered. So please be up to date on your mortgage. The fourth is equity. You have to have equity in your property. And Equity is your stake in the property, so the value that you have in the property after having paid your mortgage for X amount of time. Now, the time exactly for the amount of equity, the time frame exactly for that equity requirement is going to differ by loan program. So just be sure to get with your provider again about what that time frame requirement is in terms of your equity and how long you would have had to have paid your mortgage. And then lastly, you just want to make sure you have cash to close, right? You want to make sure that you have cash on deck to close, because granted, you're going to probably have the opportunity to roll that money into your loan, but that'll more than likely raise the mortgage amount, which kind of defeats the purpose of refinancing, because this is to save money monthly and to reduce your monthly mortgage payment. So really quick, 5 things to expect if you're going to refinance. You want to make sure your finances are in good standing in relation to your credit score and your debt to income ratio. You want to be sure that you meet the time frame requirement for having been in the property within your specific loan product. You also want to ensure that you have enough equity in the property after having paid the mortgage for a certain amount of time, which you can find out through your provider as well. You also want to make sure you're up to date on your mortgage, so no late payments recently, no forbearance. And then lastly, you want to ensure that you have cash to close, because you will need that to close when you refinance. Thank you for joining me today on this Winning Wednesday.